When life throws you a curveball, hit it the hell out of the park.
Get that stuff out of here. It's Southwest Bias.
Welcome into Southwest Bias, brought to you by our friends at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. You do you at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. And we are live from Studio K. You see the sign right above me. Brought to you by our friends at Circle K. Make sure to become a member of the Inner Circle today just by downloading that Circle K app for free. We've made it through to the other side. Basketball is back tomorrow. Media Day for the Suns is taking place on Wednesday, and I love Media Day. I love it so much. I've worked many of them for the team. I've covered them as a media member, and there's nothing like the hope that springs eternal on a Media Day for an NBA team. It's hopium, a straight line to the brain. And there's something fun about it because all 30 teams all of a sudden believe maybe it's their year. Maybe it's the year that everything clicks and you can have some fun. And we know 29 of them are going to go home licking their wounds, and 14 of them are going to be abysmal. But at least for one day, there's hope. I equate it to that first day of school. We all have been there. I mean, I don't imagine I have anybody in preschool watching this show, but we've all been there. The first day of school, everybody's excited. Summer's over, and there's a little malaise about that, but you're excited to get back, see your friends, meet your teacher, understand what the whole year is going to be about. And there's just certain things that you know that it's going to happen like clockwork on that first day of school. There's questions that are going to be asked. There's conversations that are going to be had. Things will happen that you know, like your friends asking you, what did you do this summer? Everybody talking about who came in looking different. Everybody talking about the rumors that have swirled all summer and trying to get answers to what's going on. NBA Media Day is the same thing as the first day of school. There will be things that happen like clockwork on Media Day for the Suns and around the league. There are questions that will be asked and answers that will be given that we know will happen. And as a matter of fact, I actually have multiple questions that I know will be asked and answered. Things that will be said tomorrow that will be, inevitable. And I can give you that preview right now. I can tell you exactly what's going to happen. And I actually am going to have a scorecard where we grade if these things happen on Wednesday at Media Day. Number one, someone will claim that they gained 10 to 15 pounds of muscle in the off season. Inevitably, that will happen. It has happened every year, all 11 that I've covered them. And my guess is somebody's going to say it about Oso Ighodaro. He spent all summer in the gym. He's added 10 to 15 pounds of muscle. The man has bulked up for year two, and he's ready to take on all the bigs in the NBA. He's kept his speed and his smarts, but he's bulked up so he can better rebound, so he can bang on the low post. These things will happen. This will be said about at least one person, and my guess is Oso Ighodaro. Driving and delivering thinks it'll be Ryan Dunn, but oh no. There's a Ryan Dunn one that will come up, but not right now. The next one will be inevitably a person will claim that they improved their defense because they focused on it all summer. That's going to happen. And I believe that guy is going to be Jalen Green, who says that his defense overall is improved. This will be something that comes up. Every year, all 11 I've covered, there's been that claim that somebody has just focused on their defense all summer. They've gotten significantly better. My favorite was Michael Beasley back in the day when that was the big... Michael Beasley focused on his defense. He's a scorer, he could score, but he locked in on his defense, and he's ready to prove himself. Didn't happen, but it certainly was talked about. There's always a guy that was locked in the gym all summer, taking X amount of jumpers, usually 3-pointers, to fix his shot because that's the part of his game that needed to be unlocked, and he figured out how to do it this summer. That's going to be Ryan Dunn. We're going to hear that Ryan Dunn has spent all that time working on his shot in the gym, that there's X amount of jumpers a day that he locked in and took. I mean, this was a famous like Kobe one that you would hear. You know, they got knocked out of the playoffs and he was in the gym every day shooting 500 shots. We're going to hear that about somebody. Maybe not 500, but we're going to hear some crazy number of shots that they were locked in improving their offense. And I think it's going to be Ryan Dunn. This one, if our friends at Bet365 had a lock of media day, I would say put the mortgage payment on it, put the car payment on it, put the kids' college fund on it. We're going to hear the words grit, alignment, and culture more than any other words on media day. Grit, alignment, culture. We're going to hear that on repeat. Matt Ishbia, Brian Gregory, Jordan Ott. We will just continue to hear that over and over and over again. Because that has been the sole focus this summer, is trying to build all those things, trying to develop the culture, trying to figure out how they can have a gritty team, an aligned team, a team that, this is another phrase, and I guarantee you'll hear this, a basketball team that Phoenix can be proud of. Now, all those things are good. I hope all those things come to fruition. But they are words that we're going to hear a lot at Suns Media Day. And there's usually a pattern to that. Lon Babby used to have his 5 Ps, I think it was, preparation. I don't remember. They didn't work, so I don't remember. But that was something that was brought up one media day over and over. The 5 Ps, they put it up in the hallway. Now, I hope grit, culture, and alignment are all things that this team has, because it'll make it a hell of a lot more fun. But I know for a fact that those words are going to show up multiple times. And my favorite one, and we will hear some variation of this, and I actually love it, is that Jordan Ott is a quote-unquote basketball nerd. Maybe it'll be basketball savant. Maybe it'll be a guy that locks himself in the office and eats, sleeps, and breathes basketball. We may hear that as well. But we will hear some version of that Wednesday throughout Media Day from ownership, from GM, from players. That is going to be a talking point on Media Day. And then I'm going to give you this bonus. And look, I think this will happen, and I promise I won't be the one to ask it. Wouldn't be fair if I did. But somebody will ask Jordan Ott if his wife is really named Jordan as well, or if that was a misprint on the Coaches Association website. There will be that kind of question, because Media Day is known for extremely dumb questions as well. There will be people out there who will never ask another Suns question the entire season. That will be at Media Day, and inevitably those questions will be asked, and whether Jordan Ott's wife is named Jordan will be one of those questions. There's a lot that will come up at Media Day. There are a lot of excitement, a lot of announcements, things that will happen that will get you excited about this season. That is what Media Day is for. And I think you should enjoy, even if you are a skeptic, even if you are a cynic, go out and enjoy Media Day. Because like that first day of school, at least there's an excitement. There is an energy. And it's like seeing old friends and meeting new friends that you haven't seen all summer. And regardless of what happens in the rest of the year, that moment can be fun and could even set a tone. But maybe that's just my Southwest bias. We welcome in the mustache behind the Mac, Shane Diefenbach. How are you, Shane?
I am great. I'm ready. No, I'm not. I was gonna say I'm ready for Media Day, but I'm not.
I'm ready for basketball. We'll see. I'll see how I feel at Media Day tomorrow. Media Day is always an experience.
Yeah,
we'll say that, an experience.
I used to really like it, and then I got duped last year, and now I'm out.
Yeah, I mean, look, you wind up getting duped because that's what media is for.
Duping?
I mean, yeah, look, nobody's going to say, you know what, this ain't going to be our year. Nobody's going to sit there at media day and go, you know what? Yeah, we done screwed up in the off season.
That'd be kind of awesome, though.
We done made some bad moves. This is going to be a bad year, and you're just going to have to accept that.
That'd be kind of awesome.
Like that is not what media day is for. Media day is for all 30 teams to think that something special could happen and to sell their wares, if you will. That is the way that it goes down. But
the wares we were sold last year were spoiled.
Oh, well, I mean, the last 2 years that's been the way it is.
But I didn't buy any 2 years ago.
I think I bought it more 2 years ago than I bought it last year. I was a much bigger skeptic going into last year after what we saw in that Minnesota series.
But Coach Bud.
Yeah, well, we said the same thing about Coach Vogel.
I didn't.
I actually, and maybe I'll be proven wrong, I think Coach Ott is actually an interesting, a more interesting hire. I heard he's a basketball nerd.
What do you mean interesting, Espo? That doesn't sound very fun.
No, I mean it in, I much rather would have a guy that has potential that could turn into something great than a guy who's been great and maybe is on that downslide, maybe is on that backslide, maybe really doesn't want to coach. You know Jordan Ott's going to be hungry because he's got to prove all the people that never hired him as a head coach before that they were wrong.
Yeah.
He wants to prove everybody here that he's right. Everybody you hear is that this guy's a brilliant basketball mind, and that's not just inside. We talked to Kenny Atkinson at Summer League, and he sung his praises, the guy that Ott was an assistant coach for. I mean, granted, again, you're not going to say, man, that guy sucked as an assistant coach, but it seemed genuine. Like everybody you've talked to involved with him seems genuine about how excited they are for him to get this opportunity and how good they think he could be. And I don't think you can fake that funk, right? You can fake a lot of things. You can try to sell me a hill of beans on a lot of things, but I don't think Jordan Ott, man, was that an old saying or what? A hill of beans. But
what in the world?
I don't think Jordan Ott, you can pee on my leg and tell me it's raining, but I'm not necessarily going to believe it. I think Jordan Ott actually it has a lot of potential, and that's exciting in a place where, there hasn't been a lot.
I will say I missed the old media day.
Oh, the random scrums that you just walked around and got whoever you wanted?
Mm-hmm. I remember one year I spent like 4 minutes talking to Jalen Green, my goat.
That was where I built a lot of relationship. That's when I was working for the team, getting to know Goran Dragic was big on media day. Jared Dudley, I became quite friendly with because of media day. Some great memories with media day. One of my favorite, Jared Dudley came down. I was doing a setup where I was interviewing guys live, and NBA 2K12, I think, maybe 13 came out. And I had gotten the advanced copy on my desk that day, and I flipped it over, and Jared Dudley was getting dunked on, like straight posterized on the back of it. And I brought it down and showed his teammates, and Marcin Gortat just roasted him. One of my favorite of all time. But just roasted him. And then Jared Dudley hadn't seen it, and he lost his mind. I got a great photo of his face just like, whoa, when he saw, and laughing when he saw himself getting posterized on the back of the video game. Their media day is so fun for that. By the way, Michael P says, dumb question. Some people are saying the media day is the 24th, but online everywhere it says today, the 23rd. NBA had it wrong on their website. I've confirmed multiple times with the Suns last week that it was in fact Wednesday, the 24th, and it is in fact Wednesday, the 24th. We'll have full coverage from Suns Media today. Tomorrow I'll be out there, as will our PHNX Suns crew and others. We'll be out there covering everything about the 2025-26 Suns and what they've got to share on Media Day. Michael P. also says, I like that they're moving Jalen to the point. He has great size and potential, and most importantly, frees Book to be who he is at the 2. Michael, I think that is strictly a paper thing. We're going to see Devin Booker handle the ball. We're going to see Jalen Green handle the ball. Who knows? If Oso Ighodaro is on the court, he may bring it up. There are going to be multiple points of emphasis when it comes to bringing the ball up the court. That's just going to be the way it is. There are no true point guards outside of a 41-year-old with the Clippers and Chris Paul, or maybe he's 40. Maybe I aged him an extra year. But there are no true point guards in the NBA anymore. I think you will see Devin Booker a lot more off the ball. I think they are going to make it an emphasis to turn him back into that true scorer. But we saw him unlock another phase of his game last year in being able to distribute. I've hammered the table about this, but top 10 in points per game, top 10 in assists per game. I don't think you're going to walk that back. I think you want him to be very heavily involved, but I don't think it will necessarily be in just bringing the ball up. And if it is, his decision-making has to be quicker, but this will be an actual offense with movement, with things that will happen in this offense where it's not just pound the air out of the ball, go up court, and that's that. It won't be that. It will be an actually developed offense under Jordan Ott, so you won't see Devin Booker on an island. One other Suns thing I want to get to here. Steve Nash announced yesterday by Governor Matt Ishbia that he is back. The great point guard Steve Nash, the two-time MVP, the best point guard in Suns history, dare I say? I don't think that's too much to say, is back as a senior advisor. He's going to help on the basketball side, give insight on the front office side. He's going to be around the team, not on a daily basis, but will be around to offer his expertise. But I think one thing is even more important. The fact that this ownership group, that this front office is willing to embrace the past. We saw him put Amari Stoudemire and Sean Marion in the Ring of Honor. We've seen them welcome back Steve Nash. They have alumni out at games all the time. They are embracing the history of what this team is. They moved the Ring of Honor back into the building, put the banners up, rather than having it on that damn digital board that was put up there that rotated out with ads. This is no longer the franchise that tried to ignore its past for a decade, that tried to banish purple away for good. This is not a team that does not want to think about previous ownership in Jerry Colangelo and the 40-plus year history that came before the last guy. No, this is a group that wants to embrace what made this special, what made so many of us fall in love with the Phoenix Suns, and bringing Steve Nash back in the fold is just another step in that. I love this wholeheartedly, even if he's just a small part of things. When you talk about culture, when you talk about grit, when you talk about trying to figure out how to win basketball games, Steve Nash in the building is nothing but good news. He can help on all those fronts. He can help players develop. He can help bring in the culture. He is a guy that I want involved in this organization. I will never forget when we found out that his career was done with the Lakers. I was sitting in a marketing meeting as part of the Suns digital team, and we were trying to figure out how to honor him. And two of us came up and said, look, the Lakers have pretty much voided his contract. Why don't we bring him in for one game, sign him to an honorary contract, and let him retire as a Sun? And it got pushed. Nope, can't do that. Don't pay attention to the past. Can't be involved in that. Don't want it, can't have it. This ownership group understands how important the past is to each and every one of us. That we bleed purple and orange only because of those people that came before them. Only because of those guys that when we were young, we watched out there. The Purple Gang from Phoenix, the Cinderella Sun, 7 seconds or less. The Lost Era, if you came up in it with Bledsoe, Dragic, Isaiah Thomas. I'm sorry if that's the era you came up in. But all those things are why we are Suns fans, and this organization is finally embracing that. I welcome Steve Nash back in. Very glad that two-time is a member of the Phoenix Suns.
Do you think maybe he can help out on the court a little bit?
No. Oh. He has a bad back, and he's my age. Nobody wants to see that. I think Matt Ishbia could play point guard more effectively right now than Steve Nash with the back problems he has. Steve had to lay on the ground even when he was playing. I don't think at 42 and removed. Do you remember him with the Lakers? He's not ever stepping on a basketball court again unless it's as a coach.
Okay.
It's not happening.
What if he got into yoga?
I mean, look, man, I've done yoga. It does not change that much in your life. Michael P. said he was just going to ask about Nash as well. I don't know. Maybe desperate times call for desperate measures. I mean, the Rockets could use a point guard now. Anyways, on the other side of the break.
Nasty.
Yeah. So what? This is an Arizona podcast. It's Southwest bias. My Southwest doesn't extend to Houston. My Southwest doesn't extend to Texas. My Southwest is in this Arizona area, and that's where my bias lays. On the other side of the break, we're going to talk a little bit about baseball, hockey, and so much more. So stick around right after this. Mountain America Credit Union, MACU. It's who you need. It's their MyStyle checking for your lifestyle. They want to help take your money and make it work for you. And it's great. It's everything you need in a checking account, and it's got built-in benefits. Mountain America's MyStyle checking account has perks just for you. This is not a walled garden. It's not, hey, you have to have this much and you got to do. No, this is for everybody. Your lifestyle matters in the My Lifestyle checking account. You're going to get restaurant deals, mobile phone protection. So if you were Butterfingers like me or the Cardinals receivers on Sunday, and you need to make sure that your mobile phone is protected from drops and breaks and lost and all those things, they got you covered. Telehealth access. We all need that telehealth. Identity protection, loan rate discounts. You trying to open that business or get that home, they've got you covered. And so much more. Make MyStyle your lifestyle at Mountain America Credit Union. Visit macu.com/MyStyle to apply. Membership required based on eligibility. Some benefits require no cost. Registration and activation. Terms and conditions and exclusions apply, just like in life. So don't you forget it. And then Branded Bills. You see me wear the hat every day. I wear a Branded Bills hat every day on this program. This is a new one. This is their new style. I love it. Best hats I've ever owned, and I've owned hundreds of them. And that's not a lie. That's not an exaggeration. You can ask the missus. I've owned hundreds of hats. Branded Bills is the best that I've ever owned, and easy to clean. I had one that had gotten a little grody. Super easy to clean. Did it over the weekend. Looks like brand new. So I highly recommend you check out Branded Bills if you want snapbacks, truckers, fitteds, beanies, tees, or you need custom performance apparel. They got hats that you can customize. We've got our PHNX hats. They've got teams all around the valley and throughout college football and some great state apparel as well. They partner with the Phoenix Suns too, so check them out. They're from Mesa. They're now located in Tempe. You want to be part of it. And I said, hey, we need to get a discount for my people, the biased in the chat. They said, how about 10%? I said, no. These people deserve 15. They said, you know what, for USPO, we got it. So use that promo code BBPHNX for 15% off at brandedbills.com. Hit the link in our description to take advantage of it today. What was that, Shane?
You said that didn't happen.
It did happen. I called them. Okay, it didn't happen. But if it did, I would have gotten you that discount. That's just the way I feel about the biased in the chat. I want to talk a little bit about hockey before we get into the Diamondbacks baseball run. The state of Arizona, Tom Galvin, the pitcher, decided to put together a group that is kind of a committee that's going to try to bring hockey back to the Valley. And Shane Doan's wife is chairing the committee, Andrea, and I'm so excited to see what they're able to do. Hockey to Arizona, or NHL to Arizona, is the group, and they're starting to look at how they can bring ownership back to the Valley that is committed to actually growing the game here and not just trying to get a quick payday like some of the previous owners have done with this group, which was a disgusting miscarriage of things for fans here, because hockey is passionate. Youth hockey is huge in the Valley. Some of the biggest stars in the NHL have actually come from Arizona and youth hockey now. Fans are rabid about it. Some of our biggest fans and diehards at PHNX are here because of hockey. And I love that there are proactive steps being taken to try to figure out how to get it back. Because, Gary Bettman, before he leaves office as commissioner of the NHL, wants to make good because he believes in this market and has. And Alex Morello put them in the worst situation possible, and that's why they're in Utah. Not because of the fans, not because hockey can't last in the desert. It's because of poor ownership and a guy that was a shyster with it, a guy that was trying to do some questionable things with teams here. Alex Morello is why this team isn't here. It's not because of you, the hockey fans, and I'm glad the Doan family and some members of our local government are committed to bringing this team back. I look forward. They're going to have a press conference on Thursday. I can't wait to hear what they have to say. And they're trying to figure out a location for an arena and the right ownership group to do this right this time, to right the wrongs of the previous Coyotes, to kind of cleanse us from Coyotes 1.0 and bring in Coyotes 2.0. I hope that this comes to fruition and does soon. Big game for the Mercury tonight, Game 2 in Minnesota. They trail the Lynx 1-0. If you're not watching, I recommend it. Alyssa Thomas, Satu Sabali, Kalia Copper have played fantastic. The first half of that game in Game 1, which most of you probably didn't see because it happened at the exact same time as the Cardinals game. The WNBA in their infinite wisdom can't schedule games when people are actually going to watch. They go, you know what, let's go head-to-head against the NFL during our playoffs. Not a genius move. But tonight, no football. Watch the Mercury at the Lynx, Game 2, as the Mercury try to tie it up before they return home on Friday.
Alyssa Thomas, plus 450, triple-double tonight?
Take
juicy.
it. Bye. Alyssa Thomas, triple-double queen. Give her that crown. I say do it now. And D-backs Dodgers tonight. Shohei Ohtani on the mound. Brandon Pfaadt on the mound. Brandon Pfaadt is 9-3 with a 3.15 ERA out at Chase Field. Last time he took the rubber, he went 9 innings, scoreless, only gave up 1 hit. This is going to be a hell of a pitching matchup tonight and a game that the Diamondbacks must have. We're no longer, we are tracking if the Mets are going to continue to crap the bed. We know they will. They're at the Cubs today, so I guarantee that's going to continue to happen. But the Reds are now who you're really paying attention to. They have a game lead on the Diamondbacks, and they have the tiebreaker, so it's essentially 2-game lead with 6 to go. The Diamondbacks need the Reds to lose, which means we are all Pirates fans as they head to Cincinnati. Paul Skeens, can you pitch the entire series? Can we get Barry Bonds in a time machine to go back and help Pittsburgh, or Andrew McCutchen from back in the day? Because this Pirates team is straight booty, but we need him. No pun intended.
How about Robert? That's nice. I like that. How about Roberto Clemente?
Sure, whatever it takes to get the Pirates to beat the Reds. Diamondbacks have a tough slog themselves. They have to protect the pool, keep the Dodgers out of it, because a win gets them the NL West as well. So a lot on the line tonight out at Chase Field. That is another edition of Southwest Bias in the books. A big shout out to Shane Diefenbach, the mustache behind the Mac. You can follow him at Shane Dief. Hey, so you know as well, later in the week, we got the CEO of the Phoenix Suns, Josh Bartelstein, is going to stop by the program. We're going to talk to him. Tomorrow's Media Day. Check out all the coverage at PHNX_sports and at PHNX_Suns. You can catch everything from me at Espo. And remember, Media Day is kind of scripted, but at least it's going to make us feel a little bit better about where we're headed. Ahoy, hoy.
We all silly like the mayor.